welcome back to the Stanley Parable. Now, this is the Ultra Deluxe edition. This is not the actual sequel because the actual sequel is not a real thing. This is just part of the Ultra Deluxe, I promise. Um, I've just been looking at all the new content, or at least the new content that's been showed to me so far. Um, so yeah. But I promise this is not a sequel. A sequel has not even been made yet. Hasn't even been teased or anything.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a...
But yeah. Okay.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay, it's just the narrator is a little too loud for my liking. But yeah, this is
All
just
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had... Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Yeah, this is just the Ultra Deluxe edition, though.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay. Oh, this is new, I think. I don't know. I've actually never been upstairs. Is that the right door that I have to go through? I don't know. This is all really new to me. Okay, I think that's where I'm supposed to go, but I'm gonna take a detour to the bathroom just because. Another collectible.
Found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. I'm stealing that now. I'm so stealing that. I'm so stealing that. I'm gonna write that at work.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
2, 8, 4.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Collectible.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
That's kind of cool, actually. That looks really dark and ominous, and I kind of don't like that. Oh, well, I guess there's not really anywhere else to go other than down, I guess. But yeah, I'm totally gonna write that at work next time I go in. I'm totally writing that. That's so funny.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead
Mind
through the
control
large door
facility.
that read, Mind Control Facility.
Escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
What?
The
Why?
door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
How is it a painful death? Whee! I don't know. I'm just seeing what happens. What's happening? Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and
Okay.
the bucket inched closer to their demise,
Okay.
Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to
Hey
death?
man,
This
hey
is what
man,
Stanley
this
thought to
isn't
himself,
right.
And he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Well, I guess it's time to die. Oh,
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
what the fuck is happening right now?
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way.
What's
but
happening
this one
right now?
stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
What is happening right now? The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the principle of knowledge, much like a bucket itself. The human mind is frequently empty within, a carnivorous void, but through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substi sub I don't know what that fucking word is. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information as the exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of the exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? Okay. Substantiate it? Is that the word? I think that might substantiate it. I've heard that word before, but I don't know what it means. Because I'm stupid. I'm just a big, stupid, dum-dum head, and I don't know what words mean. I think that's what that... Hold on. Sub... STANT... I think that's what the word is.
Substantiate.
Yeah, substantiate. Substantiate past participle. Provide evidence to support or prove the truth of. They have found nothing to substantiate. Okay, so it's to enrich and. Okay, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Okay. So that's what. Okay. Sorry, I'm just really stupid and I just want to
Can
know
you
what the
see
word
how
was.
arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Hey. What? It's just a fucking bucket, man. It's just a bucket. It's nothing special. What in the hell is happening?
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
What? What the fuck?
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket.
Hey
We can
now.
save the world's buckets
Hey
from their
now.
treatment as tools and
Hey
implements, if
now.
only we
There's
let
no
Stanley
need for
die
this.
together.
There's no need to die like this, lady.
As leader, as commander of the whole world, a
You're
new
really
vision.
gonna... Ow! I'm dead. Well, you killed me, I guess. Thanks, I guess. All that for a fucking bucket, man? Jesus Christ. The bucket was never that special. It was just for the gags. Shit, man. Well, okay then. Okay, well then fuck the bucket
All
then.
of his co-workers were gone.
Fine, I just won't
What
pick up
could
the
it
bucket
mean?
then.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Fine, I won't pick up the bucket. I'll leave the bucket alone.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fine, I'll play the game normally this time, if that's what you really want. How many of them can we find? Well, so far I've found 3 of them. There will be a reward for finding them all. Press... Places to search. A large room. Lots of boxes. Stairs. Something to do with stairs. Some both red and blue. What? Place with lots of boxes. I'm confused.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Some are both red and blue. I guess we're going up. Hey, that's copyrighted music, you know. Can't play that. It's copyrighted music. Great, now this video is gonna get taken down. I'm gonna have to mute that. Place with a lot of boxes. Place with stairs. Place with both red. I'll probably just end up getting a trophy or something. Okay, that didn't even take me anywhere. I can't go back, can I? Nope. Whoa, damn.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
Okay.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Both blue and red. Something about stairs. I am bound to find all of the Stanley figurine things, collectibles, whatever you want to call them.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay, fine.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I guess I will. Okay, good thing the camera.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I don't know.
No.
You tell me.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
5. Well, guess it doesn't do anything else. My control idle awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source,
I just hit the off button.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Oh.
Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
It won't let me go through.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Hey, I got a trophy for beating the game. Okay, I'm gonna try to find all the other.
All of his co-workers were
things.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Give me all the collectibles, you bitch. Where are the collectibles?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Is this? There must be a point. Places to search. A large room, lots of boxes, stairs. Something to do with stairs. I want to go home. I want them to stop kidding yourself. There will be clean of what? Who are you? 666 LOL. These are hard to find. Follow clues. We can do it. Red room. Maybe we are the collectibles. Shut the frick up. How can we find them? Okay, I'm trying to find all the collectibles. Yeah, I found the one in the bathroom. The one in that first place. Trust the completionist instinct. Say 6. Maybe we should make them. Okay. So room, cargo room, playroom, building a bridge. Cargo room. Hold on. What? Hold on, let me go to Google. Stanley Parable. Choosing the right door and start guiding. Be found by choosing the right door at the start.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Hey, got
Okay,
one.
I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley?
Okay.
What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it.
I have 2
I'm
left.
sure it will come to me.
Ah, fuck.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of...
Okay, I'm just gonna skip it just because. Because then I realized too late. I was like, oh, I gotta go through. Okay. So then.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Sorry, I'm determined to find all of them.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Shut up,
Perhaps
I
he
don't
wanted
care.
to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I can't remember if that leads to the cargo room or not. No, I don't think it does.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really?
Yes.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anmarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anmarines. None of us can.
Got that one. Got that one. Room with cargo room. We're walking off to the left cargo room. Choosing the right door. Lots of boxes. Let me pick up the game class start. Different Indians. Both of these can be found by choosing the right door at the start and guidance into the cargo room as designated a large room, lots of boxes. However, they cannot be I found, let's see, I found the first one to start it. I've found the fifth one. Okay, I found the washroom one at the bottom of the stairs. So I need to find the second one. I don't think I've found. Okay. How do I get to the cargo room? That's what I need to know. Let's see. Because I'm determined to find it. Stanley. Oh, so there's a way to get to cargo bay. Oh. Oh, that's the cargo bay, I guess. Okay. Well, I don't know if I can go back. Nah, it's not gonna let me go back. Okay, fine. Oh,
thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop.
Or
I
make
would,
it stop.
we would both be so much happier if we
Open the
just
fucking door.
stopped. And I think, well, I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Thank you.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? No, wait. Where are you going?
I'm going this way.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
That's fine.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley. No! Oh, thank God you lived. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Whee!
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Splat.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
It's
I
not
just
killing
wanted
me
us
for
to get
some
along.
reason.
But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I don't think it's gonna kill me though. I'll probably end up living, even though he's like walking. Kind of.
Is it over?
Oh, I'm dead.
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
I'm determined to get that collectible, even if it means having to restart. Okay, here we go.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Shut
What
up.
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Shut up.
Perhaps he wanted to stop
I
by
don't
the
care.
employee lounge first, just
Shut
to
up.
admire it.
I don't care.
Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I did not.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
I'm just here for the
Please,
collectible, bro.
Stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to...
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Was I supposed to answer the phone?
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
I think I did this wrong.
Sorry, but you're in my story now. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
This just sucks.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Come on, let me go back.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
So it's basically not going to let me do anything.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Fuck it. Okay.
All of his
Here we go. I'm going to try to get that collectible.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
I don't think I was supposed
Perhaps
to
he had
answer the
simply
phone.
missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open
No.
this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I did not. I don't think I'm supposed to answer the phone.
Stanley was so
Answer
bad
the
at
phone
following
this time.
directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Okay, so I'm basically
This is it,
supposed to
Stanley.
just sit in the room.
Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone?
Yes.
Now, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to
You
white,
lies.
roll credits. Not
You
picking up the phone
lie.
is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I
What?
not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
It just says practice.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Wait, hold on. How did he do that? Huh?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
It won't let me. How am I... What? How did he do it? What? It won't let me through. It won't let me through for some reason. I don't know.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, I don't think I will.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Fine. Psych. Oh, it won't let me do anything else.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of...
I'm determined to get that collectible.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Okay. The narrator hasn't said anything.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I need to get to the cargo bay. Somehow.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Oh, I gotta have the bucket for it. Okay, I got
A
it.
soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Okay, so I had to have the bucket with me for
Stanley
this for some
clutched the
reason.
bucket tightly to his This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was no...
It says that there's a
never
glitch.
mind. The bucket was wrong.
I don't know.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Yeah, good,
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he
Oh, there it
unthinkingly
is.
did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
There's the collectible. I need to grab it. I need to grab the collectible, but I don't know how to grab it.
Now pick up the phone.
No.
Oh, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the...
I'm trying to grab the collectible. Give me the last collectible. I need to grab it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
Don't
it mean?
care.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was no... Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there.
Yes.
Go to the cargo lift.
Yay.
And there it is.
Yes.
The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This
Got it.
is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.